Hello there, sugar. If you listen to the evening news, you'd think the second you blow out 80 candles on a birthday cake, you suddenly become a helpless little bird waiting to be plucked by the big bad internet. Well, I've got news for them. I am 103 years old. I live entirely alone by my own choices, and let me tell you, my brain sparkle is shining brighter than a diamond in the midday sun. People always ask me what my longevity secret is. They expect me to say something boring like drinking warm lemon water or taking afternoon naps. But let me share a real secret with you, darling. You can't have a happy ending to a miserable journey. And absolutely nothing makes a journey more miserable than spending your precious golden years terrified of a ringing telephone, constantly worrying that some invisible computer program is going to drain your hard-earned nest egg. Lately, all my friends are absolutely panicking over these newfangled AI scams. Artificial intelligence. They call me up crying, "The robots are coming for our retirement funds." Oh, please. We survived world wars, economic crashes, and the tragic invention of polyester pantsuits. We are certainly not going to be taken down by some overgrown calculator programmed by a kid drinking energy drinks in a basement. Instead of sitting around trembling behind locked doors, complaining about how scary the modern world has gotten, we need to flip the script. Protecting your money isn't a burden, sugar. It is a glorious exercise in asserting your absolute authority. My house, my rules, and my bank account stays exactly where I put it. So today, we are going to have a little chat. I am going to share my 4 longevity secrets for outsmarting these modern AI scams. I will show you exactly how I use the gray rock method to give absolutely zero emotional reaction to these digital grifters, and how you can stop playing the victim and start being the boss. Grab your favorite cup of tea, darling, because Grandmama's school is officially in session. Longevity secret number 1. Smash the grandparent scam with a family-safe word. Darling, let me paint a vividly dark picture for you. It was 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, and my telephone started to ring. Now, as anyone who has lived past 50 knows, absolutely nothing good ever comes from a ringing phone at 2 in the morning. I picked up the heavy receiver, and immediately I heard the sound of my oldest grandson, David, absolutely sobbing his heart out. His voice was shaking. He told me he had been in a terrible car accident in a city 3 states away, that his nose was broken, he was sitting in the back of a police cruiser, and he desperately needed $5,000 for bail immediately, or he was going to a county jail cell. 30 years ago, the sheer terror of that moment would have given me a heart attack. It would have aged me a full decade on the spot. Fear and panic are the ultimate thieves of longevity, sugar. They flood your nervous system with stress, steal your sleep, and break your spirit. But I refuse to let fear dictate my life, and I certainly refuse to hand over my peace of mind to a digital thief. You see, These modern scammers use a terrifyingly simple trick called voice cloning. They only need to scrape about 3 seconds of audio from a silly little video your grandchild posted on the internet. Then, they feed it into an artificial intelligence program to synthesize a perfect copy of their voice. They can make that robotic puppet say anything, complete with breathless panic and realistic sniffles. But I don't do panic. I do boundaries. Instead of weeping and frantically reaching for my checkbook, I took a deep breath, channeled my absolute best gray rock method, and gave that voice zero emotional reaction. I simply asked in a flat, even tone, "All right, David, what is our family safe word?" The line went dead silent. The crying stopped instantly. The voice on the other end started stammering, trying to change the subject, trying to crank up the emotional manipulation and guilt trip me for not caring. I didn't get angry. I didn't yell. I just said in my coldest, sassiest tone, "Nice try, sonny boy, but you picked the wrong grandmother. Goodbye, vulture." And I slammed that receiver down hard. The secret to living a long, happy life is establishing an ironclad protocol with your loved ones. Pick a ridiculous word. Purple pineapple. Disco biscuit. Keep it a total secret. When the crisis calls come, test them. Taking back control of the situation replaces your fear with absolute, undeniable power. Longevity secret number 2. See through the AI slop and protect your nest egg. If there is one undeniable truth I have learned in 103 years on this earth, it is this: there is absolutely no such thing as a free lunch. Yet, every single time I open up my computer tablet to look at pictures of my great nieces, I am bombarded by what the young folks are calling AI slop. I am talking about those hyper-realistic videos, deepfakes they call them, of famous billionaires, or those sharp-dressed investors from the television programs. They stare right into the camera, looking incredibly professional and sincere, promising that if you just send them a few $100s in some invisible digital currency, they will magically double your retirement nest egg overnight. Now, I understand entirely why decent people fall for this. It is heartbreaking, really. As we get older, society constantly whispers that we are running out of time and running out of money. We worry about the cost of groceries. We worry about leaving a little legacy for our children. And that deep-seated fear makes us incredibly vulnerable to a polished, authoritative voice offering a miracle. But darling, keeping your brain sparkle sharp means you have to treat the internet exactly like a shady, back-alley street market. Instead of letting these videos intimidate or tempt me, I turn them into a daily mental workout. I put on my reading glasses and I start hunting for the flaws, just like a bank teller inspecting a counterfeit $100 bill. I look closely at the edges of their faces. I watch how the artificial lips do not quite match the rhythm of the words they are speaking. I look for the fake, blurry logos in the background and the unnatural way they blink. I absolutely refuse to be a helpless victim of an optical illusion. Protecting your nest egg isn't just about the money, sugar. It is about maintaining your dignity, your thermostat sovereignty, and your ultimate independence. My money stays right where I can see it, under my complete and total jurisdiction. I would rather spend my hard-earned savings buying a slightly ridiculous pair of expensive velvet slippers for my own guilty pleasure than hand over a single red cent to an internet ghost. You have to build an impenetrable fortress around your finances, and the strongest brick in that wall is your own uncompromising skepticism. Longevity secret number 3. Never outsource your common sense to a chatbot. Now, this next one is something I see happening entirely too often, and it breaks my heart. We are being told that artificial intelligence is so smart it can practically run our entire lives for us. The young people are using these robo-advisors and automated chat programs to do their taxes, balance their checkbooks, and decide where to put their retirement funds. A dear friend of mine, bless her heart, decided to use one of these computer programs to help her understand a complicated change in property taxes. She thought she was being terribly modern. Well, that little chatbot confidently spat out a brilliantly written, highly detailed explanation of a tax loophole that sounded absolutely wonderful. There was only one tiny problem. It was completely made up. The computer experts call it a hallucination. I call it a flat-out lie wrapped up in fancy, polite language. It took my friend weeks of panic and a massive headache to untangle the mess it made of her finances, all because she trusted a machine over her own good sense. My secret to living a long, peaceful life is maintaining absolute ownership of my decisions. Your brain sparkle is the most valuable asset you possess, darling, and you absolutely must not let it get lazy by outsourcing your thinking to a computer server in Silicon Valley. I am not saying you should avoid technology altogether. I certainly use it. But I only use highly specialized, verified assistants, like the resources provided by Ask AARP to look up a specific policy or print out a form. I treat these chatbots exactly like I would treat a remarkably eager but completely inexperienced teenage intern. I will let them fetch the paperwork, but I am absolutely the one sitting in the big leather chair, reading the fine print and making the final choice. You never, ever hand over the steering wheel of your life just because the new car has a shiny dashboard. Longevity secret number 4. Stop playing defense and become a digital warrior. If you listen to society, they will tell you that a woman of my age should be absolutely terrified of the internet. They picture us sitting in rocking chairs, paralyzed by the fear of clicking the wrong button and accidentally deleting the entire World Wide Web. Well, sugar, I have never been one to play the fragile victim, and I am certainly not starting at 103. The absolute best way to protect your nest egg and to keep your mind incredibly sharp is to go on the offensive. We have to use AI for good to fight back against these digital vultures. Instead of hiding from the internet, I made a choice to conquer it. A few of my girlfriends and I started our very own cyber defense group right on our WhatsApp. We call ourselves the Neighborhood Watch 2. If one of us gets a suspicious text message claiming to be the postal service or a strange email promising a fortune, we immediately take a screenshot and send it to the group. We warn each other, we analyze the tricks, and we protect our community. But my absolute favorite hobby, my true guilty pleasure, if I am being honest, is using a little tool called reverse image search. Oh, darling, it is more thrilling than any crossword puzzle or afternoon bingo game. When some handsome military general or oil rig engineer messages me on the internet with a sob story, asking for gift cards, I do not get flustered. I take his perfectly posed photograph, run it through the search engine, and within 10 seconds, I find out that the picture actually belongs to a dentist in Ohio. The satisfaction of catching them in the act is simply delicious. It gives me an incredible sense of power and thermostat sovereignty over my digital space. I am the boss of my inbox. By turning this terrifying technology into a tool for my own protection, I completely eliminate the anxiety. I am not a helpless target. I am a highly trained watchdog. You have to remember, sugar, aging is mandatory, but feeling obsolete is entirely optional. When you take the time to learn these little digital tricks, you aren't just protecting your money. You are proving to yourself and to the world that your mind is a fortress. So there you have it, darling. 4 simple ways a 103-year-old woman outsmarts the biggest, baddest artificial intelligence scams out there. You see, the modern world isn't something to be terrified of. It is simply a new landscape, and we have the exact same grit and brain sparkle we've always had to navigate it confidently. Don't let anyone tell you that your golden years are meant to be spent hiding in the shadows, jumping at every ring of the telephone. That is absolute nonsense. You worked entirely too hard for your nest egg, and you deserve to enjoy your life, whether that means buying ridiculous velvet slippers or simply having the peace of mind to eat chocolate cake for breakfast in your own quiet kitchen. Keep your boundaries ironclad, sugar. Keep that gray rock method ready for the digital scammers, and keep your heart wide open for the genuine people who actually matter. You are the absolute master of your domain, the queen of your castle, and you maintain complete thermostat sovereignty over every single aspect of your physical and digital life. If you found these longevity secrets helpful, be a dear and share this with a friend who might need a little reminder of how powerful they truly are. Until next time, keep that brain sparkle shining bright. And always remember, you absolutely cannot have a happy ending to a miserable journey, so take the wheel and start enjoying the ride.